most of these kind of reads where they had this questioning, like Kennedy's the worst. Hold on, John. Hi, everybody. By the way, hit that like, share the show, et cetera, et cetera. This was, yeah, let me see. If I can find the Kennedy, like, I'm not going to play the whole thing of him. I just think it's fucking hilarious. So, they interviewed, where is it? Yeah, here it is.
A thing that happened.
So, most of the Republicans that did this, it was all performative, you can see, and they were eating up time by talking slowly because their vote is already taken care of. They don't need answers. They're already on board. So this, maybe they're getting on the record as slamming somebody else. And Kennedy.
Senator Cruz would be next, but he's not here, so I call on Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms.
Miss Muller, how you doing? Miss Bondi? Say, somebody's got a bear stuck in a hole.
Bondi, welcome. Congratulations. Can we agree
Oh, God.
that legitimacy is important to America's criminal justice system?
Absolutely. I think an adjudicated rapist skating by without charges is pathetic. I also think that, just because you can run out the clock because you're running for office is as a special case, even if you win this popularity contest amongst a bunch of people, doesn't mean you shouldn't have to face the music.
Yes, Senator.
Can we agree that legitimacy...
This is like we're looking into the future and seeing what Josh Hawley will look like in his 80th term. His 80s, so his 15th to 12th term, 10th term, something like that.
is important.
No, how old is he? 8 terms, 6, something like that. Not long.
To the Department of Justice, which in part administers our criminal justice system?
Yes, Senator.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking the tough questions. Wouldn't you say that a ceiling is crucial to keeping the roof up of a building? Yes, Senator. Absolutely. Thank you. I think you would agree that it is better when the floors of places in old folks' homes especially are not covered in Crisco, and firecrackers are not thrown into the bathroom at a given point?
And if
You get on with it.
if Americans come to believe that our criminal justice system
To come to believe?
or our Department of Justice
Both or either.
is acting illegitimately,
Don't get me started. Irony meter, ping. All right.
that makes Americans less likely to accept the results of that system, does it not?
Yes, Senator.
And that makes Americans less likely to follow the substantive laws that we pass that are administered by the Department of Justice.
Yeah, and at this point, like, every rando sexual assaulter is going, shit, not only am I not going to jail the next time I pull this shit, I might even be president one day.
Isn't that true?
Yes, Senator.
And if that happens, we have chaos, don't we?
Yep, chaos, which is the third worst thing that can happen.
Chaos.
Chaos.
And
And disorder.
the social contract is breached, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, you mean like the social contract about, like, if you lose an election, don't charge up the steps of the Capitol and wreck shit and take a dump in the rotunda and threaten to hang the vice president and carry a Confederate flag through the place? You mean that kind of social contract? And wouldn't you say, if you reach down into yourself and you find that that the American people might lose trust in our justice and our legal system, if we start seeing young men charged with sexual assault but have a big game on Sunday being arrested before the game when we frankly need to win, wouldn't you say, yes, Senator?
Do you remember a person by the name of Michael Avenatti?
Yes.
Several years ago, he was a media star here in Washington.
An attorney, correct?
Yes. He was a media star.
Yeah, he was also, because he was Stormy Daniels' attorney. He went to jail for cheating her. Stormy Daniels is the one, of course, who said she had a brief but pathetic affair with Donald Trump's tiny little penis that lasted about 3.5 minutes, if you don't include an episode of Shark Week.
And many members of our media loved him because he persistently bashed Donald Trump. And he was on TV every day. He was on CNN more than Wolf Blitzer.
No, he wasn't, technically, but I see what you mean.
Do you know where Mr. Avenatti is today?
I believe he's sitting in prison, Senator.
He's in jail.
Wait a minute. Biden didn't pardon him because he was a media darling?
Because he was a crook.
Yeah, because he ripped off Stormy Daniels.
And the Department of Justice helped put him there.
Oh,
Didn't
dear.
it?
Oh, my gosh, Tobias. Thank you for gifting the memberships. Bless your heart. Thank you.
Yes, Senator.
You too, Freeman. Charlie. Thank you so much, Charlie Blue.
Do you remember a gentleman by the name of Sam Bankman-Fried?
You mean the person that Don Jr. has been trying to get his dad to pardon?
Yes, Senator.
Boy genius.
Well,
So smart and so powerful that he thought he could command the tides.
Honestly, I don't know if even the worst kind of crypto bros think they're the moon.
So smart and so powerful and so rich that he would go to meetings
Oh,
with
dear.
serious people
Oh, yeah?
like Bill Clinton, like Tony Blair, looking like a slob,
Oh, my God.
looking like a fourth runner-up to a John Belushi lookalike contest. And he thought it was cute. Where's Mr. Bankman-Fried today?
I believe he is in prison, and I believe that's from the Netflix series I saw as well.
Sorry, you know he was arrested because you watched the Netflix series on him? You do realize that he was arrested and put in jail during the Biden administration?
Because he's a crook.
Yeah. Fallen crypto mogul Sam Bankman-Fried sentenced to 25 years in prison, March 28, 2024. Under a massive fraud. The extremely smart U.S. Judge Lewis Kaplan delivered a blistering analysis of his crimes. There's absolutely no doubt Bankman-Fried's name right now is pretty much mud around the world. He was convicted in November of fraud and conspiracy. Where's the lack of respect for the and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Avenatti was found guilty of stuff before, like in 2019, 2020 was it? But 2020 mainly, but then found guilty of more charges in after Biden. Hold on, Avenatti sentenced. Yeah, he got December of 2022. He got 14 years for for that. He did like, what was it? What did he get before? Since handed down, after he completes a 5-year prison term, he's currently serving for being convicted in 2 separate trials in New York. Selden also ordered Avenatti to pay over $10 million restitution for clients and the IRS. These are overly harsh and uncalled for. Blah blah blah. His own attorney says this. Avenatti's fraud was egregious and blah blah blah. Prison sentence Avenatti is currently serving is given after he was convicted for attempting to extort millions of dollars from Nike and stealing nearly $300,000 from a book advance for Daniels, his then client. Trump has denied having an affair. Avenatti had faced a statutory maximum of 83 years in California prison. Earlier, the Justice Department dropped the 31 remaining fraud counts Avenatti was facing after he agreed to plead guilty to the handful of charges. Federal prosecutors said in the court filing at the time they wouldn't move ahead with the remaining 31 counts of wire fraud, bank fraud, and tax-related charges because the judge could consider these allegations when he eventually sentenced him. So he basically pled guilty to them so they didn't have to go through the process. Admitted guilty. He took $4 million from a client with major disabilities. Yeah, he was an asshole. And we didn't have any problem jettisoning him.
And who helped put him there?
The Department of Justice, Senator.
Under Joe Biden? Joe Biden's Department of Justice?
Can we agree that there's some really, really good men and women at the Department of Justice?
Many, many great men and women in the Justice Department, as well, Senator, as all the law enforcement agencies that fall within the Department of Justice. They're out there risking their lives, especially the law enforcement officers, every single day.
Can we agree, though, that there have been and may be today some bad people at the Department of Justice?
Yes, Senator.
Yeah. Can we also agree that there are some bad people, and by bad I mean belligerent assholes devoid of talent in, I don't know, the Senate?
We don't know for sure because for the last 4 years,
they've been busy convicting Sam Bankman-Fried and adding 14 years to the prison sentence of Michael Avenatti.
the curtains there have been tightly drawn. But I think a minority of people there,
probably minorities, if you ask me,
have
and I do mean minority,
legitimized America's criminal justice system. The most,
and again, yeah, we don't need to listen to all this shit. You get my point. A lot of this is just performative horseshit. And Pam Bondi's the least of our worries. Like, she's going to try, and there are some people who are going to try and make a legacy for themselves out of this. And those people I don't worry about. It's the people who fealty to Donald Trump is more important, right? Those are the people who concern me. Kash Patel, I think, doesn't think he has a future in any circumstance without Donald Trump. Pam Bondi does. So those people I don't worry so much about. Will they do shit? Sure. Will it be outside the bounds of what we think is, fair play and honesty and perhaps giving too much? Agreed. I think so. But there's a line they won't cross because it's important. Hegseth is another example of somebody who's just a Trump suck-up. He concerns me. But again, if he fucks around, what happens? The military is in danger. Not just our allies, because he doesn't make policy about that. And the Congress and the Senate still set these kind of things. But if he starts undercutting our military readiness, the biggest worry with, besides just the anti-gay bullshit that he might be throwing around, which, believe me, LGBTQ people in the military can handle it. They're tougher than your average person in general. That's why they're in the military, right? So I'm not, what he's going to do. We're going to have to keep track of it and be aware of it and all that kind of stuff. But he's just going to be doing what he's told, and Trump will be using him to, will jettison him, at some point. Hegseth just will probably drink himself out of a job.